So long story short, there have been briefings that we've received as Congress that leads us to believe that, yes, there is definitely an advanced technology out there that's not created by mankind.
They don't fly here in like tin can flying saucers. They come interdimensionally, and we have limited spectrum, even sight of what's in our normal light spectrum.
Welcome back to another episode of You Could Make This Crap Up, but why the hell would you have to? Here is what's going on right now. Trump greenlit Palantir's master database, which is an all-out war on your privacy. And don't think for a second that there's not a war on your privacy. 8 new mega detention centers are being built. Customs and Border Patrol just bought access to Clearview's 60 billion image facial ID system. DHS is now demanding the names and the addresses of social media users who are critical of ICE. ICE agents are running through our streets threatening to put people in a domestic terrorist database. Trump is going to circumvent the Supreme Court of the United States and release fresh rounds of American destroying import tariffs. And now that same Donald Trump is talking about releasing files related to alien life forms. Check this out. Based on the tremendous interest shown, I will be directing the Secretary of War and other relevant departments and agencies to begin the process of identifying and releasing government files related to alien and extraterrestrial life, unidentified aerial phenomenon, and unidentified flying objects, and any and all other information connected to these highly complex but extremely interesting and important matters. God bless America. And as you might expect, the first on the scene to pat himself on the back and take credit for being the first to disclose these alien life forms and their strange gravity-defying craft is Alex Jones. Even though I'm pretty sure Alex Jones was the second grader who was looking off the paper of another student named David Icke. But let's go ahead and watch Alex, I'm a Jew, Jones low-key take credit for what is now becoming mainstream fodder.
Close to a decade ago, I exclusively revealed on Joe Rogan's popular podcast that from all of my research in the global sun admissions, aliens don't come from distant star systems.
I exclusively revealed. I remember somebody else talking about that way before Alex Jones. Initials DI. And if I'm not mistaken, David Icke even wrote about this.
They don't fly here in like tin can flying saucers. They come interdimensionally, and we have limited spectrum, even sight of what's in our normal light spectrum, not to mention the other dimensions, not to mention all the different fields that come into our dimension. And I've talked to high-level Pentagon people, CIA, you name it, scientists, physicists. They've said absolutely it's an interdimensional invasion.
Oh, I've talked to high-level officials in the Pentagon and the CIA, because I know when I talk to those guys, I'm going to get the God's honest truth. And then I'll let you know the truth that they told me. Which is exactly what Alex Jones is doing right now, because it always looks like he's laying cover for CIA and CIA operations. In conspiracy circles, that's called a gatekeeper.
That's what the Bible talks about in every other ancient religion, that there's this unseen, but it's coming into our universe. It's coming into our domain. It's coming into our dimension. So here's a clip of her on Fox News Friday night, talking about, yeah, it's interdimensional, but it's classified. I can't tell you yet. I'm going to tell you soon. But what they know from people in the Air Force I've talked to and what's already been declassified is a craft will show up and then it's 100 miles away instantly. Pew, pew. Or it'll be flying Mach 20 and make a perfect turn. Nothing can do that. Because in gravity, that would crush anything.
Or it's just an outright lie coming from the military-industrial complex. There's always that option, right, Alex?
You could have a solid block of stainless steel doing Mach 15, and if it made a perfect turn, it would just flatten it out. So we know they're interdimensionally jumping from point to point. And so now Trump's talking about a big reveal here. Obama's saying aliens are real. I don't just believe Obama. I do believe there are obviously things that aren't human, But why are they announcing it now? Is it a distraction from Epstein?
Is it a distraction from Epstein? Let me see. We got a bunch of pedophile predators in Washington's District of Criminals now being completely okay with releasing files that have to do with extraterrestrials and unmanned aerial vehicles and UFOs. So now we got the case of the predators versus the aliens. Oh, it's the makings of a Dynamite movie. You've heard you can't make this stuff up. Well, why would you? This script is writing itself. It looks like it comes straight out of the halls of Pedowood.
Sure, but Trump said when he first got reelected a year ago. Now, is it a distraction from Epstein? Sure, but Trump said when he first got reelected a year ago, I'm going to do disclosure, ordered Hexas to prepare the report in the next year that's about to be released. So regardless, this is really, really important. And being focused on UFOs or extraterrestrials doesn't take away from exposing Epstein. We're focused on that. But there's a lot of disclosure happening right now. A lot of really, really crazy stuff happening on every front because...
And who's doing the disclosing? Oh, it's the U.S. government. And when the U.S. government is disclosing, we can trust all of those disclosures. Just put all your eggs in that basket because what they're showing you is what's really happening. The truth they're giving you is really the truth. It's all the truth. It's nothing but the truth. Even though historically we see it's just the skin of the truth stuffed with a great big fat warmongering lie.
This is part of the Great Awakening. So I'm going to go to her clip on Fox. I want you to give me your take below.
Talking about what Anna Paulina Luna says right here.
So long story short, there have been briefings that we've received as Congress that leads us to believe that yes, there is definitely an advanced technology out there that's not created by mankind.
Non-human visitors to Earth.
Well, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that. You know?
So aliens are real.
Well, I don't know if they're real or not. I can tell you he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that.
So that got a lot of attention. Hours later, the president posting on Truth Social that he's directing the release of government files related to alien and extraterrestrial life and UFOs.
I'm going to change it to, Washington's District of Criminals is the Dog and Pony Show. Now it's the Dog and Pony and Predator Alien Show.
Everything to come out that the government has on this. So with that, we bring in Republican Congresswoman from Florida, Anna Paulina Luna. She is chair of the Oversight Committee Task Force on the Declassification of Federal Secrets. She has said that there is evidence of interdimensional beings that can operate through the time spaces that we currently have, which is obviously going to catch a lot of people's attention. Anna Paulina Luna, thank you very much, Congresswoman. It's good to have you with us today. The
footage is probably as real as the moon landing footage. And this is what we pay these congressmen and senators $174,000 a year to occupy their time with. Most of these congressmen and senators are, by the way, they're owned by AIPAC and special interest groups and the 12,000 lobbyists who actually own and operate and run Washington, D.C.
I want to go back to that. You told Joe Rogan in a podcast in August when you were discussing all of this that you have viewed evidence of interdimensional beings here on Earth and that they operate through the time spaces that we currently have. Can you explain what you mean by that?
Yeah, I think that a good example would be some of the photo visual evidence that we've seen directly in some of these classified briefings that will now be made public. One of the famously now, infamous videos that we showed in one of our hearings was actually a video that was dead dropped to Eric Burleson, who's a member of Congress, from within the Department of War, and it shows a UAP, an unidentified air phenomena, deflecting a Hellfire missile. This was taken off of ISR footage off the coast of, I believe it was Yemen. So long story short, there have been briefings that we've received as Congress that leads us to believe that yes, there is definitely an advanced technology out there that's not created by mankind. And yes, of course, we've seen other evidence where it could potentially be UAPs, and then we later find out that there's drones. But there is a certain amount of evidence that we simply can't explain. Some of the physics that are defied in how these vehicles operate are very interesting to note. And we are not the only government that's looked into this extensively. But I really do look at this from a lens of national security. And as you know, as we continue to evolve specifically on the front of AI and drone technology, we have to ensure that are these things, whatever they may be, are they potential adversarial weapons, advanced weapons, or not? And I think the whole aspect that the federal government can deny access to members of Congress, of which has happened not just to myself, but to other members of Congress as well, is not just alarming, but it's also something that cannot truly exist in a free and fair society. Government should not operate in secrecy. And so I look forward to the American people being able to determine their own conclusion after they've seen some of the evidence that we have seen. But most recently, Representative Gates actually came forward. He was on that initial CODEL with me and Representative Tim Burchett, where we were denied access. And he will tell you that if you've seen some of the stuff that we've seen, you will too become a believer.
Did you get that? If you see some of the stuff that we've seen, you too will become a believer. And that's exactly what you need to be to believe that anybody in Washington, D.C. has authority over you, that they have the right to rob you, they have the right to rule you, they have the right to control and legislate you. And therein lies the problem with this entire nation and really in the world, that people believe that other people have the right to initiate unjust force and violence on peaceful people who haven't done anything wrong. If you got a uniform, a badge, and a gun, you come with the authority of the state, or you have this fancy title like senator or congressman or president, you can do things, or king, monarch, queen, prince. You can do things that the rest of us just don't have the right to do.
So you're saying that the Air Force has covered up UAP sightings. So, if there is potentially, is it because it's technology that we have that they don't want anyone to know that we have militarily, or is it that it's a foreign actor who has some abilities in technology and things that spin in ways that we can't understand?
Based on our interviews that we've conducted, not just in person, but also given some of the testimony that we've received, we do have reason to believe that this tech is not created by mankind. However, it is also possible that there are certain advanced weapons that the U.S. government may have that they're denying us access to. But here's the problem. When you have unelected bureaucrats denying access to members of government that are supposed to oversee and write the checks for that federal spending, and then we're also getting reports that there are people being threatened, whether it be physically, whether there have been, interesting deaths associated with people that have been coming forward as whistleblowers, which has been brought up in some of the testimony that we've received, not just myself, but you saw recently there was a movie that came out, The Age of Disclosure, where this was also referenced now by the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio. This is one of the most bipartisan and bicameral things in Washington, D.C. And so we definitely are looking forward to sharing this and exploring this further with the American people.
Anna Paulina Luna, Congresswoman, thank you. It's fascinating, and I think we all want to know more about this. I think it's sort of tripped back into the universe, so to speak, with sort of an offhanded comment by President Obama that turned into something deeper, and now we may get some more disclosures.
So we've got the initial statement by Barack Obama on the Brian Tyler Cohen show, and you've got Trump, who's supposed to be the ruler of the free world, the leader of the free world, saying, hey, guess what? We're going to release all these documents that deal with extraterrestrials on the heels of what Obama said. We know Obama's a liar, Brian Tyler Cohen is a liar, Trump is a liar, the CIA is a liar, the Pentagon are liars, congressmen and senators do nothing but lie, but we're going to take this breadcrumb of declassifying these extraterrestrial UAV and UFO files seriously.
The elite are all about transcendence and living forever and the secrets of the universe, and they want to know all this. Some are good, some are bad, some are a mix. But the good ones don't ever want to organize. The bad ones tend to want to organize because they lust after power. Powerful consciousnesses don't want to dominate other people. They want to empower them, so they don't tend to get together until things are really late in the game. Then they come together. Evil's always defeated because good is so much stronger. So again, everything isn't available to the eye. You can't see 5G. You can't see wireless. You can't see, galactic space waves and solar storms.
You can't see BS, steaming piles of BS when it's being shoveled in your face. You can't see that the father of the VAXX, the guy who spearheaded and signed the biggest power and wealth transfer in human history. You can't see that, that's not the guy we want into office, but we're going to go ahead and try to vote that guy into office like this guy did. He cannot be trusted. He has no principles, no morals, no backbone. He's a spineless jellyfish. For all I know, he's a CIA operative.
It's all there. And the good news is this is coming out. And I do talk to Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna. She's a great lady. She's read into some of the classified stuff. She's got to wait till that all comes out. But I would expect this to be a big deal. Sure, the deep state's going to plant some fake information in there, but regardless, the good news is there is a great awakening to all of this, and we'll be watching and covering it next week when Trump reportedly declassifies the UFO file.
There's only one state, and that state is the great fiction by which everyone seeks to live at the expense of everyone else. Don't buy into it. It's a lie. Government is a lie. Nobody has a higher claim over your life and property than you. And people like this are charlatans cashing in on ignorance and the collective sickness of society. It's no measure of good mental health to be considered well adjusted to this profoundly sick society. Thanks for being here. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. Maybe subscribe, become a member of this channel, grab a shirt. But more importantly, remember, it's easier to deceive the masses than to convince them that they've been deceived. And these people are great deceivers. I'll see you in the next video.